This is my audience. Okay. Raise your hand if you guys don't like getting up in the morning for school. We've all been there before, tired, unprepared, hungry, and stressed as we're on the way to school at 7 in the morning. You weren't able to go to bed at a decent time because you might have been up doing homework or studying. You weren't able to get a good breakfast because you were in a rush. And even with all of this, you find yourself running late. According to the Centers of Disease Control and Prevention, published on February 5th, 2018, about 58% of students in middle school don't get enough sleep. And about 73% of high schoolers don't get enough sleep either. Well, this can all be stopped and avoided if we just delay school by an hour. Most of us here know how stressful school can be with all the amount of homework and studying and exams that we have. An increase in the amount of sleep a student could get could tremendously help this. It could help their focus and their academic performance. Our education system should delay start time because it can help students get better sleep, which would ultimately help them focus more and perform better GPAs. Before we begin, let's first take a look at how sleep affects students. Getting 8 to 9 hours of sleep is very important to keep you awake and focused in class. Students who don't get these valuable 8 to 9 hours of sleep find it more difficult to concentrate and retain the information that they read and heard. According to Dr. Cindy Gellner in her article, lack of sleep can affect children's performance in school, published on June 4, 2018. Their brains have had a harder time focusing, and the recall of long-term memories when kids are sleep-deprived their brains actually lapse. When kids sleep-deprived, their brains actually lapse into sleep-like brainwave patterns, which is why kids that are tired space out in class. Having school start at such a significantly early time impacts the way kids perform and retain information in class, causing some who are more sleep-deprived to zone out. When they are zoned out from being tired, this makes it harder for them to understand the criteria that's being taught. According to the article Sleep, Learning, and Memory, J.M. Ellenbaum stated, without adequate sleep and rest, overworking neurons can no longer function to coordinate information properly, and we lose our ability to access previously learned information. It's vital that students get enough sleep as it helps them stay focused on being able to understand the information correctly, rather than students who don't get enough sleep that are struggling to stay focused and awake, resulting in them not performing well. Lack of focus and performance in GPA can be related tremendously. When you're not able to focus, then your grades are not going to be as good. In the article, The Impact of Sleep on Academic Performance, written on December 19, 2018, by Sherwin Garwin, she states, a 2001 study found that sleep deprivation affects students' ability to perform well in class in a significant way. The research found that people who slept for 9 hours in a 24-hour period had much higher GPAs than those who slept less than 6 hours in the same time frame. It's clearly shown here that getting 9 or more hours of sleep helps students get better grades in school rather than getting 6 hours or less in 24 hours, resulting in them not achieving good grades, proving that sleep is extremely important for students' academic performance. In the University of Washington News, James Urton wrote on December 12, 2018 about a study done at Franklin High School in Seattle, Washington. What they did was they gathered 2 groups of students who were taking the same biology class, and what they did was they took one group of students that started school at an early time, and they took another group of students who started school at an hour later. And what they found out at the end of the semester, after conducting their information, they were able to understand that the GPAs of the students who started school an hour later had a 4.5% increase in their GPA. With school being increased by approximately 1 hour, it's shown that the students' grades increased, which could have resulted from them getting more sleep than the others who did not. After looking at the lack of focus among students in their performance scores, it's important to understand the cause, which is sleep. Sleep is so important in everyday life. When you don't sleep enough, you're feeling unmotivated, tired, unfocused, and much more. And most teenagers today don't get the amount of sleep they need to even be healthy. In 2019, according to the National Sleep Foundation, teens need about 8 hours of sleep in order to function best. Most teens don't get enough sleep, and in one study they found that 15% of students reported sleeping 8.5 hours on school nights. That's not a very big number. With this many kids not sleeping the amount needed, it will and it does affect how they perform in school. In 2019, in an article called School Start Time and Sleep, they found that 60% of students under the age of 18 complained about being tired in school, according to their parents, and 15% said that they fell asleep in school. Clearly, our schools need to change. Therefore, to ensure that things change, there needs to be actions taken. First, it's important to inform people how sleep affects them. Like I said, it can affect your focus, which then affects your performance in school. We need to take a look at this and apply this to school start times. A solution for this issue would be moving school start times back an hour. If school started at 7:30, then moving it back to 8:30 would give them another hour to get the amount of sleep that they need in order to be successful. And honestly, what's the use of trying to teach kids that can't learn? So here's an easy solution for you. Education is so vital to our youth, and taking full advantage for it is very important. A change so simple like this can affect their performance and for so many students and their overall health. To conclude, by looking at the problem, causes, and solutions regarding delayed school start times, it's proven that we need to do something about it. Sending kids to school before they have had time to wake up will only result in them not learning to their full potential, and that's not fair to them. Thank you.